Hey YouTube, it's JYJummer12 with you once again. This is part 5 of my series of sexual immorality. I'm basing on, if you haven't watched the other videos from before, this is based off of Every Young Man's Battle by Stephen Arterburn, and this is chapter 5 called Stopping Short. And this part of the book, it's talking about Fred's story some more. And how Fred felt this wall between him and God. Fred felt this separation between him and God. And he found that there was still a hint of sexual immorality in his life. And the thing is that he thought that looking at magazines like laundry magazines and wasn't really that bad, but this is kind of a big difference from his previous addiction to porn. And in his mind, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm better than I was before. But you look at what Jesus said. If you look upon a woman in lust, you're committing adultery in your heart. And he then found that he had a lot more than a hint of sexual immorality, and in double meaning of jokes. He'd be laughing in the background of a pastor that's talking, and what happened with Fred is that he changed the bad and sinful things in his life, but then once he changed those things, he found out that there's other bad and sinful things in his life. This is kind of where a lot of we find ourselves finding this out and noticing this the more we try to become more like Christ. And he started praying. After this, he started praying that God will show him a woman that is a Christian woman, a good Christian woman, and of course, God answered his prayers, and he did way more in this. And Fred wasn't necessarily looking for a wife or a girlfriend. He just wanted to, he didn't know any Christian girls. And God introduced him to his future wife, Brenda. And he obviously got married to her. And, he thought he was doing good. And but yet these double meanings of jokes and magazine inserts and the heat-seeking eyes, that's how they used it. For when he checks out women, it still hasn't really changed. And he would frequently remember other girlfriends in his past that he had, and these way. And God and also Fred,
they both wanted Fred to change. God wanted to change, and Fred wanted to change, and he fell short of God, just like a lot of us do. And all of us do, really, but and the sin remained in his life. If it's before it was porn, but now it's lust and lusting after women, and he kept sexual impurity in his life. And we choose to be pure. We choose to be pure or impure. We choose to look at women if we want to. We choose to go on the computer, and go on sites we're not supposed to. And that's all. It's not, someone's not next to you forcing you to do this. And as Christians, we have mixed standards with our standards and God's standards. It shouldn't. We have our standards of sexuality and God's sexuality, and we're like, if it's more tolerable for most Christians, this is how they feel. It's more tolerable to have mixed beliefs than to follow God's plan. If that's with being by yourself and on the computer, those are mixed standards. And then on the other hand, you're like, you're telling your friends not to have sex with your girlfriends, but yet you're doing stuff with yourself, and it's just as bad. And this is where that issue comes along. And This is one of my favorite parts of the book right here. It talks about authenticity and acceptance. It's a subtitle of this book, and it's called Authenticity. It's tough for me to say that, or just acceptance. And it says, what is your aim in life? Is it be authentic? Do you want to be accepted? And there's differences between these two. And like, how far will I go? How far can I go and still be a Christian? That's a kind of a issue that we all try to have in our lives. Like, how far am I willing to go to go against God's will to be considered a Christian? Like, on to that point, I was just saying, most teenagers that are Christian just want to be accepted by their friends at school, and even at church. And this one story, it's not really it's a man and a woman, a husband and wife, and the husband was previously married, and rated R movies and X-rated were destroying their marriage, and this has really been on his heart, and he went to this husband and wife went to Fred and asked him, what should we do? And the husband was being authentic by standing up for what was right. And a lot of Christians don't want to put the effort into being authentic. They just want to be accepted. And this is so hard in our society that it's obviously hard to be authentic, but it's God's way, and it's the good way, in other words. And to most Christians, sexual purity seems like a wall, a 300-foot wall with, it's glass, and you can't get up it. There's no way of conquering the impurity. And the desire, really, if you feel that way, to be Christ-like, is truly not there. And I think all of us, not all of us, but most Christian men at some point in our life feel like that wall is, non-climbable. There's no way you can climb it. And that's where it's like, why is this? Why is this? Many Christians choose the acceptance path rather than the authentic path. And yes, there's going to be a lot of struggles to be authentic with guys and girls, to be sexually pure. But if you are authentic, if you're trying to be authentic, if you're really trying with all your heart, God will meet you more than halfway. God will help you through it, and really just kind of push you along with it. And I wanted to talk about, well, never mind about that, but right here is there's another subtitle. It talked about, are you ready to count the cost of being authentic and being a Christian? It won't be easy for any of us. Now that we know God's standards, we can continue to walk forward in sexual purity. And are you truly ready for this? As a Christian, are you truly ready for this? We need to search for the middle ground, to inadequately approach God. And we need to eliminate all hints of sexual immorality. As males, we will be captured to sexual gratification and chemical highs through our eyes. That's where males get their highs from. That's where they get their gratification from. But first, we need to reject our mixed standards. And I talked about that earlier. Our mixed standards of sexuality, of just mixed standards with God in our lives. And that's was the end of the speech of this part of sexual impurity. Hope rate it, please. subscribe if you like it, comment, rate it, comment, whatever, if you liked it. If you don't like it, please tell me what you didn't like, what you liked, and God bless you all. I hope you had a great week, and I'm hoping this is really helping a lot of you. God bless you.
I spit Christ-filled energy, nice when I wanna be joyful, cause my God is in love with me. Not satisfied just being how the others be. Sorry Lord, I have sinned, but I'm coming clean, and I fight how the veterans fought. I'm a fanatic for the cross like the Incredible Walk. Trust my faith strong like Incredible Hulk, and only spit hot lines if your bet is the cause. I'm on the run with that H to the Y music. If it don't glorify Christ, don't cry, use it. I grew up singing gospel hymns. Your boys sing Christ's name like apostles did. With divine inspirations, I got to spit. Yo, I'm speaking to the youth, saying plots on kids. And it's real when I spit it, ain't no coward in me. How could I back down God's power in me?